This isn't your typical leak, folks, according to claims that were recently released from a private medical source. This is the kind of news that freezes your heart in its tracks. Chrisean Jr.'s blood contains something. No issue, I can see. That I'm not stupid or blind. I'm not going to pretend to be stupid or blind. I'm ready. If my baby needs a helmet, I'm ready to go get my matching one with him. And it's not just concerning it's catastrophic. A regular test that was ordered during a recent pediatric emergency visit allegedly contained a red flag chemical. Here's the twist, though. It was not a natural occurrence, was not a medical condition. This was not inherited. This was unfamiliar. According to sources, residues of a chemical commonly linked to adult-level drug usage were detected by the toxicological screens. The worst part is that people are now publicly blaming Chrisean in particular. The internet is going crazy. Fans are asking, how could this have happened to a baby? And there are screenshots, anonymous doctor statements, and even a voicemail purportedly from a nurse who handled the results, all of which implicate CPS. Did you think this drama had reached its lowest point? No, Chrisean's worst nightmare. Maybe just getting started. Stay right here because you won't believe what you're going to hear next. Let's begin. Let's go back in time, since isn't the first time that Chrisean Rock's parenting style has drawn criticism from the public? The cameras haven't stopped since the birth of baby Chrisean Jr. It's been chaos, and more chaos from the hospital live streams to the viral baby bottle thrown on Instagram Live. However, there was always one unspoken fact hidden behind: the disorganized interviews and sloppy footage. People were quite concerned. Fans had been speculating that something wasn't right even before this shocking medical release. She will be smoking too near the infant. That boy was usually worn out. When she's out partying, who's even with him? One story, one life, one careless post at a time. It all began to take shape. Even Chrisean's closest friends were secretly growing anxious as she retorted to the critics, accusing them of being obsessed, envious, and broke. And then Blueface. Let's face it, her child's father has been everything but steady. He's pleading for custody on Twitter one week. Then he accuses Chrisean of being the game's most toxic baby mother. However, the infant was always caught in the crossfire regardless of what transpired between them. Online users started noticing small details. Sometimes sobbing, sometimes by himself, baby Chrisean Jr. would be in the backdrop of her live feeds. On other occasions, onlookers noted strange conduct, lethargic responses, and delayed pronunciation. In one hazy photo, others even claimed to have seen white powder residue on his blanket. Chrisean denied everything, of course. She portrayed herself as the misunderstood mother, merely attempting to do the right thing in each interview. Before the tipping point, she would yell, cry, and declare, "Y'all don't know what I've been through?" Fans saw that she abruptly canceled a significant interview 2 weeks ago. The truth was that her manager said it was because of a family emergency. Chrisean took Jr. to a private pediatrician instead of her usual facility, according to sources. Why? Fitna reportedly fainted after coughing, and it took him 2 minutes to wake up. Take a moment to process that. 2 minutes. The infant, who was only a year old, was slouched and unresponsive. Now that a bloodstream report that ought to have remained private is making the rounds, everyone is demanding answers. Was it a mishap? Did they overlook it? Or is there anything darker going on behind someone in that close circle? All we know is that everything changed when the report was leaked, as the item they discovered was a chemical that is frequently represented by a single emoji. And whether there are any indications of that in baby Chrisean Jr.'s system, if that is the case, it's more than simply drama. It may be a criminal case. However, prior to dissecting the report itself and defining insiders, saying, "You must realize how profound this is." This goes beyond rumors. For far too long, the world disregarded the warning sign. It might be too late now, 'cause it didn't. And at the bloodstream once the truth began to seep through the gaps. The next twist, which involves someone Christian has always trusted, is even more horrifying. It began with a screen grab. The username of one anonymous user has been blurred out. What appeared to be a hospital record was blurred in the profile picture. Fans didn't believe it at first. Another fictitious leak. One more person chasing. Clouds. Everyone thought so until they looked closely. There was a date on the upper right corner. Just 2 days after Chrisean's emergency doctor appointment on July 16, 2025, the benzoyl residues were bolded in red in the infant panel's cold clinical font toxicological data. Let's dissect that for you. Yes, that emoji wasn't merely symbolic because benzoyl is one of cocaine's main metabolites. Cocaine was indeed discovered in Chrisean Jr.'s blood. The internet went crazy. The first to become viral was Twitter. The blog of _Rephom. Period at CLTIA 2-5. If this is a real Christian going to jail, this is not fair to any baby. Real mom energy isn't that. That is illegal. However, Blueface's crew was already hatching plans while fans were just beginning to freak out. Blueface had already gotten in touch with 2 different family lawyers, according to a purported DM leak from one of his close circle. At this point, things really took a turn for the worse, as a second page was leaked just as everyone was trying to comprehend the cocaine results. During ingestion, behavioral reactions were seen this time: slow motion, sluggish blinking, and irregular pupil reaction, too light. All indications of stimulant exposure, not the type seen in baby formula or Tylenol. They lost it. The reports were republished on Instagram blogs, with the baby in the backdrop, and YouTube in disarray. TikTok. Creators recreated moments of Chrisean going crazy during live feeds. Titles like CPS, Where Are You? Cocaine in a Baby, and exposed Chrisean rock endangered her kid. However, this is the unexpected turn of events. Within 24 hours of the report's release, the pediatrician, yes, the same person who conducted the tests, was let go from the clinic. A rumor has claimed that the clinic attempted to conceal the occurrence, escape legal repercussions. One anonymous nurse who left a comment on a Shade Room article that went viral said as much. You guys don't realize how serious this is. In the first place, that baby wasn't intended to be brought there. Because of who she is, she pleaded for discretion. They instructed us not to write anything down when the test results were in. The question now is, was a complete cover-up to preserve Chrisean's reputation, or was it a medical emergency? Remember that Chrisean is riding on millions of her brand through club appearances, collaborations, and the reported Zeus renewal. Everything hinges on how she is perceived by the public. And this might be the last straw. However, it becomes even more gloomy. According to insiders, Chrisean brought a friend along for the visit. The friend was a woman with a thick New York accent, bright orange braids, and no identification. She was described as being extremely nervous and noisy. According to one nurse, the unidentified woman even attempted to snoop on the test results and wouldn't allow Chrisean to talk to the doctor alone. Who was she then? Some people think it's Chrisean's long-rumored cousin, Wendy. Others asterisk when a TikTok Blueface arrived at her house with cameras. She assumed it was merely a hired caretaker. Yes, you read correctly. Let me see my son. Blueface was seen shouting as he pulled up in a matte black SUV and pounded on the gate at Chrisean's house. The entire incident was caught on camera. It was already picked up by TMZ, and you know what? He was holding papers. Supporters think it's an urgent custody request. So let's quickly review. The clinic tries to hide the fact that a baby's bloodstream test results are positive. Here is with an unidentified woman who might have been involved in drug use. Chrisean, also known as Ghost Blueface, has receipts and is requesting complete custody. We're not finished yet, though, because what follows includes a call from Child Protective Services and a phone call that was taped and leaked a few hours after Blueface's altercation in the driveway. On that call, what was said? You should prepare. yourselves. When the situation reached a completely new level, the internet had just recovered from the toxicology report leak. After Blueface's altercation in the driveway became viral, people saw something unsettling within hours. CPS was on the rise. ****. Additionally, it's not only trending and exploding on all platforms. Screenshots of purported voicemails left by a caseworker named M went viral on Twitter and TikTok. Lopez is on the phone with Chrisean. Additionally, a Blueface affiliate posted Chrisean herself. At midnight, the audio leak detonated like a bomb. Hello, Ms. Malone. Child Welfare Services is responding to your urgent question. The preliminary toxicological panel has been examined. We are taking emergency action in light of the material found and the minor's age. The audience froze. An emergency response. You don't throw those words around carelessly. Then things worsened. The entire clip was posted and then swiftly removed. Chrisean is audible in the background. Without crying or defending herself, she is yelling into the phone, "Y'all are not talking about my baby. I swear to God, you have no idea what you're doing. The only one he got was me." It was genuine, unvarnished, and raw. Furthermore, this clip's somewhat real. Full-fledged custody. Struggle is going on. There's more though, because a TikTok user at Gate 25 Hospital elevated the situation. 3 days before the hospital visit, they posted an unreleased Instagram live video. Chrisean is also seen dancing in the kitchen in that video. Nothing out of the ordinary at first, until viewers saw an unintentional camera pan. White powder. Next to the baby's bottle, a tiny plastic bag on the counter. The remarks were brutal. Why is that close to a baby's belongings? Do I believe that to be the case? No. Today I need CPS in there. The cocaine leak no longer felt like a coincidental incident. It appeared to be a pattern. The negligent trail. Then the most outrageous turn of events occurred. A famous person took over. Not just any celebrity either. Walker in the summer. Yes, the same summer who once stood up for Chrisean because she was a real unfiltered mother in a phony world. She ranted on Instagram for a long time. She didn't hold back, darling. It's insane how phony awake you all are. Every mother has experienced something. Don't pretend as though you're flawless. It will require assistance, not handcuffs. A firestorm was started by that post alone. She received appreciation from certain fans for her kindness. She was charged by others with protecting the endangerment of children. The internet was instantly split. Mothers require grace. On the one hand, that baby tested positive for cocaine. In addition, Carissa Saffold, Blueface's own mother, became involved in the controversy, as if the timing wasn't odd enough. "I told y'all this was coming. Y'all thought I was hatin'," she wrote on Facebook. On the first day, I saw it in her eyes. My grandbaby deserves better. Now, there was a full-fledged family war, with two opposing sides and the internet unable to turn away. Bloggers started resurfacing old footage of Chrisean being harsh with Junior during live streaming. And one clip in particular in which she yells at him to stop talking while holding the camera in the context of the new drug results. Yeah, it hit different. Meanwhile, Zeus Network, which famously are videos, fans think the company is removing the clips and changing the captions of the videos that once showed her unfiltered parenting. However, there was another leak lurking in the background. A voicemail Chrisean allegedly forgot to delete from her cousin Wendy. With the message, "Girl, you've got to clean that up. They're watching. Don't let them see that bag again." Yes, foil bag wasn't just rumors anymore. It was a trail of receipts. Darker than the last dot. But we're not done yet. A second medical facility came forward while the public was still discussing the truth. And statement expressing concern. We cannot confirm individual identities. But we urge all parents to use caution with controlled substances around children. Contamination can even occur from skin contact. And suddenly, the topic of discussion changed once more, since supporters were no longer only pointing the finger at Chrisean. They were now asking whether her team was protecting her or themselves, and if the baby was even secure in the first place. Importantly, where are Chrisean Jr. now? A screenshot of a family private group chat shows that one of the messages said they already took him. We have no idea where. We're not sure with whom. But the internet is trembling because of that cliffhanger. He was in Chrisean's arms one day. The next one is totally disconnected, and no one is chatting. Not Zeus, not CPS, not Blueface, not her. However, you are aware of what follows, aren't you? The industry will begin to respond. Additionally, you already know that the celebrities will choose a side from rappers. Reality stars are involved. This is going to turn into a battleground. Are you curious as to who gets to speak first? Want to know what Blueface's attorney recently said about complete custody? Cardi B didn't name anyone or tag anyone in her tweet, but it was obvious that she was making fun of Cardi B if the drama had already gone too far. You guys exalt mayhem until a baby gets involved. Then you all fell silent. No, you aren't real. Boom. In just 3 hours, the tweet had over 4 million views, and the remarks are harsh. Supporters immediately connected it to Chrisean. Tay liked 2 tweets criticizing Chrisean's parenting, but she didn't confirm anything that was sufficient. Conversely, the Gim joined the Instagram live conversation. You're already aware of what he said. The blogs were frothing. You all act as though she is the first mother to experience it. I have witnessed women overcome adversity. Give her time to recover. Fans, however, weren't having it. Comments began to pour in, such as, "This isn't about in the meantime." Nicki Minaj appeared on Queen Radio and declared, "If you can't raise your child right, put the camera down, period." Mic dropped, healing. The baby is in danger. It's trying to be Blueface's op so bad, he forgot the kid. And Lil Durk shared a mysterious Instagram story just when you thought the mayhem couldn't get any worse. Use a sobbing emoji to free the babies from your online influence. Let's speak about fan reactions now, because, well, they went bananas on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter. #fairness for Chris Eager, #cocaine in the crib, #we are exposed, #CPS now. A TikTok video featuring the plastic bag next to Junior's bottle received 10 million views in a single day. It included dramatic piano music, slowed down voiceovers, and red circles pointing to these suspicious objects. Commenters were horrified, saying that the baby needed a voice and that this was his cry for assistance. This cannot be unseen. Heartaches. How come no one has been taken into custody? Then came the blogs of celebrities. Regarding the leak, the Shade Room published 5 consecutive posts. A panel of psychiatrists, influencers, and even a former child services worker debated Chrisean's destiny when Hollywood Unlocked went live. Tasha K then posted a video on YouTube with the title "Zoo's New Special Recipes," and they were discovered. In his blood, 3 million views in less than 6 hours. She said she talked to a nurse who refused to hide the drug on the bloodstream panel and was fired as a result. She claims that when the nurse attempted to escalate the situation, she was instructed to back off. Who do you suppose made the call? A network exec for Zeus. Yes, purportedly. Is more than just a parenting drama. Now, a corporate cover dash-up is at issue. Next came the enthusiasts who enhanced the audio using AI software. From Chrisean's voicemail that was released, the rumor mill went into overdrive when they isolated her voice and said they heard her tell them it was just my foil. Every platform turned into a battlefield, including Clubhouse clubs, Twitter spaces, and podcasters. She was defended by some. Help, not hate, is what she needs. Black mothers always have to deal with the system. Others left. By the baby bottle. she held a baggy postpartum depression is not the cause. That's risky. Let's now discuss Zeus. They stealthily removed Chrisean episodes before posting a hazy statement. We are aware of the public debates that have been going on lately. Fans weren't buying it, but we are still dedicated to responsible storytelling and are undertaking our own internal evaluation. #BoycottZoo became popular in a matter of minutes. Several fans accused the network of being complicit, predatory, and exploitative while sharing images of their canceled subscriptions. Then, on her podcast, Angela Ye delivered the decisive blow. Fans realized it wasn't just Blueface when she read an apparent statement from his team that stated, "We will be seeking full custody of our son effective immediately. We can no longer ignore the mounting concerns about his safety." Social media beef. This is a public takedown, a legal struggle, and a custody battle. With so many influential voices participating, the next issue is, who will speak next? Will Chrisean stand up for herself? Will she break the quiet by going live? Or is she in hiding? Because the reality is worse than we thought. All we know is that there is still more to come in this story, including a secret video that no one was meant to view. The evening before the hospital visit. Devastating and unforgivable. It has been said that if it is real, it will alter everything. Curious about what's in it? When you believed that things couldn't get much worse. This time, a fresh video appeared. There was no rumor. It wasn't a tweet. Furthermore, the leak was not anonymous. The night before Junior was taken to the emergency room. Essen, a security camera recording, purportedly came from inside a lavish Airbnb that Chrisean had leased. Everything was broken by this video. In the video, Chrissy and Clairely are seen staggering around the living room while intoxicated. Junior on the floor in a carrier. The background is blaring with loud music. In one terrifying scene, a woman can be seen screaming into her phone while brandishing what looks to be a lighter and a foil strip. Just a few steps away from Junior, she drops it, picks it up, and sits on the couch. Despite only being 27 seconds long, the video will leave you feeling nauseous. She endangered her own child when a burner account posted it to Twitter with the message, "You can't defend this anymore." Following a social media tsunami, admirers silently unfollowed her and demanded that CPS intervene. Zeus even eliminated every Chrisean clip Junior from their playlist on YouTube. It wasn't even the last twist, though. No, Johnny, the actual twist. The Airbnb. It is registered to a producer on the Zeus network. Yes, you heard correctly. Chrissy and I didn't even book this whole private retreat. It was a setup for filming. The most absurd part comes next. In a voicemail to a podcast host, an alleged whistleblower from the crew stated, "We were instructed to continue filming regardless of the consequences." The internet went silent as they said, "The messier it is, the better." Even when Junior started crying and Chrisean turned away out of sheer dread, not out of peace. Because it's no longer merely a tale of a mother who struggles. A network is accused of using a baby's suffering to gain influence and views. And people began to doubt everything when that voice note went viral. For what duration have they been concealing this? Was all of this a plot point? What else? There anything on camera that we haven't previously seen? Then, from the same Airbnb security camera, one last still image was released. Another person in the kitchen is... Fans think he is a man she shouldn't have dated. You know what's on the kitchen counter, too? There is a white napkin next to what appears to be a little glass vial. Soon as the fans started yelling, "Is this where they came from?" theories began to circulate. Does this individual have anything to do with the enigmatic test results? Were they providing for her? Or worse, were they intentionally photographing her demise? No one knows for sure, but the video is unquestionably authentic. The newborn Chrisean Jr. is caught up in something more sinister than any of us could have ever imagined. And the baggie in the scenario is real. The legal pressure is now extremely great. There are rumors that the entire 2-hour video has now been acquired by the Department of Child Services. Several insiders claim that charges against Chrisean, the Zeus crew, and possibly even more are being considered. Chrisean is currently silent. Nothing on her page, no Instagram lives, no tweets. Not even a story, just a black rectangle with the words, "I need time." And everyone is watching, literally. Anticipating and preparing for what could be the most catastrophic move yet. What comes next? Will the courts intervene and permanently remove Junior? Has Chrisean finally spoken up, or is there going to be another leak of even more startling information? We can be certain of one thing: it's not over yet, not even close. What will happen next? Take a night break. The real internet this time. Though incredibly tragic, this whole incident serves as a wake-up call. When a baby's bloodstream returns with drugs, let's face it, no baby should ever have. One cannot. Remain silent when a mother is seen spiraling in leaked surveillance tape, when a whole network may be involved in making money off of that chaos. It is now your turn to talk. Tell us in the comments below whether you think Chrissy was aware of what was happening to her baby. Is the network behind Zoo responsible for recording during